Anna, could you pass me the TV remote? Right, could you show me how to use the software, please? May I take your coat, madam? Can I, could I, and may I. 3 different modal verbs that you can use when you're making a request. So what's the difference? Today's lesson is all about making and responding to requests in different scenarios. We'll learn about informal, semi-formal and professional, and formal scenarios, and the different vocabulary you can use that is appropriate for each of those scenarios. Here in the UK, traditionally, we love manners. We think it's so important to be polite and use the correct phrasing for the scenario that you're in so that you don't offend anybody. A good place to start is with your P's and Q's, as we often say to children. This is just a quirky way of referring to please and thank you when you're making requests. Use your P's and Q's. But you know how to use please and thank you. So today we're going to be tackling something much more tricky. The modal verbs can, could, and may are all used to ask somebody to do something. They all mean the same thing really, but they can be used to show different levels of formality. Now, it would be rude of me to continue without thanking the sponsor of today's lesson, italki. So I politely request that you listen to this very polite shout out and please pay close attention to the language that I use. I'm incredibly grateful to italki for their continued support. If you're not familiar with italki, then please allow me to enlighten you. italki is a very popular language learning marketplace that connects students with the most dedicated teachers around the world for one-on-one online lessons. May I also point out that they offer teachers for almost every language in the world and at a very reasonable price. italki is a great platform for anyone wanting to learn a language or 2 languages or more on their own terms. So wherever or whenever suits you. If you're new to italki, then could I interest you in $10 credit? Simply click on the link below and receive the credit when you make your first purchase. Perfect if you want to trial a few different teachers for a really low price and find a teacher that's perfect for you. Just click on the link to find out more. Okay, back to the lesson. Let's take a look at the modal verb can. Anna, can you pass me the remote, please? This is an informal question, so we use the modal verb can. Appropriate responses to this question could include things like, Anna, can you pass me the remote, please? Oh, yes, I can. Anna, can you pass me the remote, please? Sure. Here you go. Anna, can you pass me the remote, please? No, get it yourself. Okay, maybe the last one isn't very polite. An informal question usually requires an informal response, so you don't have to make your answer too long. If you're giving a positive response, you can use the verb can in your answer, and if you're giving a negative response, you can say, I cannot, but it's more common to say, I can't. I can't. Bear in mind that difference in pronunciation. Can, can't. Can, can't. Completely different vowel sounds. Now, shorter answers are more acceptable in informal situations, such as simply saying yes, or yeah, or okay, or sure. A common phrase you could use to respond to a request is here you go. We use here you go when presenting someone with something they've asked for. Anna, can I have my phone back, please? Yeah, here you go. Let's look at our second modal verb, could. Could you show me how to use the software, please? In more formal situations, so in semi-formal settings or professional settings, you could use the modal verb could. Now, you could use this at work or when talking to somebody you don't know very well. Make sure you always include the word please in with a semi-formal request like this, either at the beginning or at the end. So you could say, could you help me please? Or please, could you help me? And they both mean the same thing. If you need to get somebody's attention in a way that's polite while asking the question, you could use the phrase, excuse me. Excuse me, could you help me please? Positive answers to these semi-formal questions can be quite similar to informal answers, but try to use longer sentences where possible and avoid one-word responses. Could you show me how to use the software, please? Of course I can. Let's start with the basics. Negative answers to semi-formal and formal questions often start with the phrase, I'm sorry but, or I'm afraid, and this makes them sound more polite. Please note, I'm afraid doesn't mean I'm scared, it means I'm sorry. Could you show me how to use the software, please? I'm sorry, but I don't have the time right now. Could you show me how to use the software, please? I'm afraid I don't have the time right now, sorry. The final modal verb we're going to look at today is may. This one is much less common than the others and is usually reserved for very formal situations. May I take your coat, madam? To answer a request like this, you could use any of the other semi-formal answers that we've learned, as well as the phrase you may, which means you can, or you may not, which means you can't. You could ask the Queen, may I call you Elizabeth, Your Majesty? And she would probably reply, no, you may not. So, in today's lesson, we have covered the use of modal verbs can, could, and may in requests, and how to respond in a polite and appropriate way in almost any situation. Now it's time for your homework. I'm going to list 5 requests, and I'd like you to answer all 5 in a polite way in the comments, and you'll get bonus points for creativity. So first we have, may I have your contact details? The second one, can we borrow your Hoover? Third would be, could you wait a moment, please? Fourth, excuse me, could I have another one, please? And finally, can you pass me the salt, please? Fantastic! I look forward to reading your comments. Now, don't forget about that $10 credit you can claim by clicking the link down and booking a lesson with italki. And if you have a few spare moments, then why not come and join me in another lesson? Ooh, I look forward to seeing you there.